I'm Anne-Marie Parker. I am one of the producers and executive producers. This is my son Dayton enjoying the movie with me, and I'm going to pass this to our screenwriter.
Hi, my name is April, and I wrote the screenplay. Anne-Marie introduced me to this project, and I was really happy to work on it.
Hi, my name is Carl Evans. I'm a producer, and we're part of the nonprofit organization that helped put this film together, called Hope for the Day, and we do suicide prevention and mental health education.
Okay.
So tell us, how did you get the inspiration to write this?
Right.
Yeah, she's the inspiration.
Okay. Yeah.
He's the one who got it in the film festival.
Actually, Anne-Marie started the project, and I came on after she began working on it to help finish it. So I wrote the screenplay with under her direction.
So she came up with the main concept.
Yes.
So tell us how you decided to do this.
Well, long story short, I had a bunch of high school students come into my film studio, and we talked about what issues were bothering them the most, and it was these high expectations. The high expectations lead to heroin use or suicide, and so we have a high rate of those things here in Naperville, or the country as well. So from that information, I met up with Johnny Boucher of Hope for the Day and Carl, and then we started the ball rolling about creating a project where kids could watch a movie and then start discussing what issues were bothering them, to open up it, to say it's okay to have a mental health issue and not feel, bullied or, sad about, what's the word I'm looking for? Not to feel depressed. Stigma of having mental issues. So being overwhelmed is a very easy thing for everybody. So that's where the project stemmed from. Then I brought in April, who helped write and conceive it, and she wrote a full feature for it, but we only raised enough money to do the 30-minute film, so we had to cut it way back. So there is a feature film out there. We just need some money. So then Carl took it, after we produced it, Carl took it and has been submitting to film festivals. And of course, since we got the Naperville SECA grant to make the film, of course it needed to be submitted to the Naperville Film Festival to show Naperville what Naperville can do. So, other question?
Let's talk a little about the screenwriting process.
As Anne-Marie mentioned, it did start off as a feature length, so I probably wrote about 135 pages initially, and when we realized that we needed to cut it down, I cut it down to about 40 something, and then I think one of the associate director, she helped cut it down even more to get us down to the 35 minutes we needed. But I think I just wanted to write something that was relatable and that kind of resonated, and I wanted it to be a story that was familiar to those who would see it.
Now, have you written other screenplays?
Mostly in school, but yes, I've written a few outside of that.
Okay, so is this your first one?
This is my first big project outside of school. So it was pretty exciting that she trusted me to do this, and I really appreciate it.
And then you got involved.
So as Anne-Marie said before, Hope for the Day, we specialize in doing suicide prevention and mental health through self-expression platforms. And Johnny, the founder of Hope for the Day, and Anne-Marie got together after she had this sort of seed of an idea for a project to communicate about issues that are going on with teens. And that basically developed into this thing where we like to use different sorts of self-expression platforms to bring this conversation in the communities. And so it was an organic sort of process for Hope for the Day to be a part of this. And so once the film was under production, we knew right away that as a short film, this would be something that we could use as an educational tool in schools and in the communities that we work in North America, Europe, and Australia. So Hope for the Day, as both cheerleader and supporter for Anne-Marie's organization in this project, and in sort of helping out with the SECA grant, and then being able to put it into film fest and things like that. That's where Hope for the Day has really sort of helped supported this project that was made in the Naperville community.
Do you have a Facebook page, website?
Yes. So for the film itself, it's actually under facebook.com/ the Hope Define project, which was the bannerhead that this film was made under before it had like an actual working title. And it also is attached to the Hope for the Day website, hftd.org, under the Hope Define project. So, and the Hope for the Day Twitter is also how we promote it as well. So all the basic social media stuff.
Great, thank you so much. Any final tips for future filmmakers out there?
Oh, wow. Well, considering I teach them, I believe in yourself and don't think that just because the other guy did it doesn't mean you can't do it, because we know you can. So go out there and make your movie.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your films.